Revenge films.
I think my dad was the king of deadbeat dads. He left my mom to care for Grandma all these years. Problem was, Grandma would always complain about my mom to her face without us kids noticing. Even though my mother wasn't related to Grandma by blood, she took good care of her. On the other hand, the blood-related father didn't even care to ask how Grandma was doing. My brother and I were still in elementary school back then. We thought our dad was tired from working late. When my brother and I tried to help our mom take care of Grandma, Grandma would angrily say,
"Don't make your kids do your work!"
I was still young back then, so I didn't dare to go against my grandma to help Mom out. I think it was Grandma's way of harassing Mom. I don't get why Grandma didn't like Mom. She should have been mad at her son for not doing anything. After many years of continuous abuse, my mom stopped smiling and became overly thin. Even when my brother and I won awards, she wouldn't show any signs of happiness and stress. So, we made a pact to never hurt our mom with our indulgence. A few years later, my grandma died from natural causes when I was in junior high. However, after all the abuse she has given to my mom, I didn't feel sad when she died. In fact, I hope this would make my mom's life a bit easier being free from the abuser. That was when my dad decided to divorce my mom in front of our faces. We were all too shocked to even say a word. I just remember her asking Dad why would he do such a thing. It was so out of the blue we didn't even know why he suddenly changed his mind. Apparently, his reason for his divorce was because our mom didn't do much of the chores around the house. He also added that my mom was too tired to sleep together, which is why he wanted a divorce. That was when my mom lost it. "You didn't do anything to help me. Even the kids helped me do the chores around the house. You didn't even take out the trash when I asked you to the night before. I did everything for this family." Of course, my brother and I were on Mom's side. We didn't even know if Dad was being serious about the divorce. How could he be so ignorant when his own mother was the one who made Mom's life hell? I couldn't believe his audacity.
I wanted freshly cooked meals! I didn't want some food that was prepared the night before! You're a housewife! You have to do everything around the house! I have to do unpaid overtime just to provide for this family! Why do I have to help you?
He kept screaming at my mom about how she failed as a housewife and how the family wouldn't be here without him. Then my brother suddenly stood up and said,
I didn't want to say this because Mom would be sad, but Dad, I know you don't work overtime.
My mom and I were both confused.
What? When Mom became sick, I called your company to ask where you were. The company told me you already went home. When I asked them, doesn't he work overtime? They told me the company doesn't need their workers to work overtime. So Dad, where were you all those times?
Dad became speechless after he was caught red-handed. He tried to sway the conversation by saying not to call his company, but my brother immediately shut him down. From all the evidence, I could imagine what things Dad was doing behind our backs. I guess my brother knew about it too. That's why he said Mom would be sad if she knew the truth. I guess Mom figured out everything too, as she said, "Okay, let's get a divorce." She then signed the papers and handed them to Dad. Instead of Dad divorcing Mom, she flipped it on him and gave him the papers. After the incident, I found out everything about Dad. He was cheating on his wife with a 20-year-old lady. We found this out after the lady came to our house threatening us. Needless to say, they finalized the divorce. Dad was planning to start a new life with his young girlfriend, but they had to pay a hefty amount for the divorce. Mom was able to get 1,000,000 yen in compensation for all the abuse she had to endure, as well as having airtight evidence of an affair. A few months later, Dad told me he wanted me to come with him. Apparently, the reason he asked me was that he wanted me to do all the chores around the house. I was just dumbfounded by his audacity. Of course, I declined his offer. I wonder how dumb he could have possibly been to ask me in the first place. Why would he think I would choose him over my mom? Not to mention how he tried to cut my brother out of any ties with the family after he exposed Dad. But we have no obligation to listen to him now that he's not even part of our family. I still remember Mom's face when she heard this. She looked like the devil. Even through all the abuse over the years, Mom never stopped loving my brother and me. After the incident, we resumed our life as usual. 2 years ago, my brother became a father himself. I don't know how my dad got the news, but he immediately started bombarding my mom to let him see his grandkid. In one letter, he claimed he still loved his old family and wanted to reconnect. Guess his new family didn't accept him. We all just ignored his message until we found out he contacted the kindergarten.
Grandpa is going to pick you up today.
The teacher at the kindergarten got suspicious and called my brother's wife, which ended in a big fight again. I guess it made sense the teacher got suspicious. My brother's kid never told the teacher about any existence of a grandpa. That's why my mom immediately went to the kindergarten to pick up the kid. Dad never came to the kindergarten, but to be sure, they told the kindergarten not to allow anyone but my sister-in-law to pick up their kid. I bet my dad will end up in jail one of these days. It's scary to think about it. My sister-in-law never even saw her dad. So, to believe a stranger was going to pick up her kid. My brother even told her about everything he's done to our family, so she knows how dangerous he could be. They eventually changed the kindergarten on the off chance that Dad would forcefully take their kids away. I bet he's going to make us take care of him like he made Mom do to Grandma. I'm just ashamed that I'm related to him by blood. As for Mom, she was finally able to smile after my dad left. She's currently building a house for all of us to live in.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.